Alright, so I'm going to be doing the Heywood's mustard recipe. I'm doing a half recipe, so that's 2 1/4 ounce of dry mustard, half an ounce of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 6 ounces of eggs, 8 ounces of malt vinegar. I just did a little dash of Tabasco and 1 1/2 ounces of honey. I think almost all of those I did by weight instead of volume. The exception would be the 16 fluid ounces of malt vinegar and the Tabasco, and then the 1 teaspoon of salt. Oh, and the eggs. That was 6 ounces by volume of eggs. We've gone ahead and got our mixture. You start off by mixing the eggs with the dry goods and get that all mixed together. And then you add in the wet goods, and then you're supposed to let it sit in the fridge for an hour to 2 hours. I did an hour, and actually in between while I was doing that, I went ahead and did the first few schnitzel demos with Chef Lexi, which if you're in that class as well, you'll see. And we can already see how it's starting to cook a little bit on the sides. And this is basically like a custard recipe, so we want to be a little bit careful of not letting it overcook. That was, I think it was 4 eggs in total. I kind of like to do sometimes with custards. It's not a bad idea to take them on and off the heat because they will continue to cook. You see it's kind of clumping a little bit on the sides. One thing of note is I did use the Coleman's mustard and not the regular dry mustard from the Cisco. And the Coleman's mustard is much spicier. Like, in its raw form, it's basically like wasabi. So, you kind of want to watch out for that if you've never used it before. Most of the time people use the Coleman's mustard. We usually have every single group in the second half of the semester do a mustard recipe, and a lot of them will do the Coleman's without thinking about it and be absolutely amazed by how strong it is. But it goes really well with a lot of the charcuterie, the pâtés, terrines, the smoked and cured and brined meats and different things like that that we make. Coleman's is British brand. Traditionally in England you would have it with ham, with pork pie, with sausages. English breakfasts be very common. Really starting to see it thicken up now. Just continually kind of taking off the heat, particularly when I'm seeing it caking on the sides, to make sure it's cooking evenly. And you really don't want to scramble the eggs. It will set up a little bit in texture a little bit as it is, as it chills as well. So we don't have to get it all the way to the consistency we're looking for right now. Alright. I did go and decrease the heat there a little bit for that last. Okay, I've got it just about to where I want it. And you certainly can try to make any of these recipes. I mean, I think for practice, doing regular dry mustard is fine. I wish I could say come by the school and I'll let you have some of the Coleman's, but unfortunately that isn't a possibility. We're almost there, so about 90–95% of the way. I just want a little bit thicker before I shut it off. I really hope everyone's staying safe, staying well. Sorry for all of those of you out there who might be out of work right now. This is obviously a very weird time that we live in. I've always told my students what a resilient industry this is, how pretty much whatever happens, if you've got a good work ethic and a good education, you're going to be able to have a job. But I guess not in the case of a pandemic. So, I tell you, Chef Lexi and I, our hearts are really with you guys. We're thinking about you a lot. So, okay, that is it. Almost kind of to the stage of somewhere between like a mayonnaise and a thick dressing. And like I say, we're gonna stick that in the fridge. I'm gonna stick that in the fridge pretty much just like this. Or if I was in a hurry, I could do it over an ice bath. But I'm gonna have it in the bowl uncovered until it sets up. And then I'll put it into a container. And I believe in the book it says can then be covered and refrigerated for up for 2 weeks. So, all right. Stay safe, everyone.